BBC Two and continues on BBC One.
Wales versus England. Who will secure their place in France in 2019? The Women's World Cup at 7:30. And now on BBC Two, excited and a little apprehensive. Can the celebs beat those eggheads?
These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to a special celebrity edition of Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. Here they are, the Eggheads. Hi, Eggs.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hoping to beat the might of the Eggheads are the Artyfacts. Now, it's entertainment and the arts that brings this team together. From performance to presenting, they are a very talented bunch, not least of all the individual who was a Strictly Come Dancing finalist. Let's meet them.
I'm Katie Derham. I'm a Radio 3 and Proms presenter, and you may also have seen me on Strictly Come Dancing when I danced alongside Jeremy.
My name's Nick Hyam. I've been a BBC reporter for nearly 30 years. For much of that time, I was arts and media correspondent when my rival on ITV News was Katie Derham.
My name is YolanDa Brown. I am a double Mobo award-winning saxophonist and broadcaster. When I'm not presenting with the BBC, you can find me racing fast cars on the racing track.
Hello, I'm Simon Greenall. I'm an actor and a friend of Alan Partridge, and you will have heard my voice in some shape or form. Barnacles out.
Hello, I'm Toyah Willcox. I'm a singer, composer, actress. You might have seen me in the movie Quadrophenia, or heard me in the original series of Teletubbies, or found me in your granny's record collection.
So, Katie and team, hello.
Hello, Jeremy.
Very good to see you, and it's the last in our series of celebrity specials. So, have you been developing some sort of strategy, Katie, back there?
We've been trying to find out our strengths and weaknesses, and I'm not going to reveal just yet what we've decided. But no, we're very excited to be here. We're obviously in awe of the brain power opposite us, but we'll do our best.
Well, they can go wrong. These eggs, you sometimes blow a fuse, don't you?
Yep.
Sometimes you blow 5 fuses at once. So we've got to hope that happens. Let's just see how you go. Good luck, challengers.
Thank you.
Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers' chosen charity. If they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. Now, Artyfacts, I can tell you the Eggheads have won the last 14 games, so there's £15,000 for you to win for your charities if you defeat them today. Shall we get cracking?
Go on then.
Yes.
I've never heard you so quiet.
Get it over with.
The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of film and TV. So, one of you, please, against either Beth, Pat, Barry in the middle, Steve or Lisa.
I'm looking down.
Looking this way.
Yeah, I'll take one for the team. OK, yep, it's fine.
Yeah.
Good man.
Give it a go.
But then who?
Brilliant. An actor on film and TV, that's a great start. And against which egghead?
I think Pat or Steve.
I don't know, I think Steve maybe, you know, because he sounds like he's from Lancashire, but could be clever.
I'm from Derbyshire, I'll have you know.
Derbyshire?
Yeah.
Oh, it's even worse.
Simon from the Artyfacts going in against Steve, former brain of Derbyshire. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions in our famous question room. Simon, I guess you are best known for appearing as Michael in I'm Alan Partridge.
Visually, yeah, that's what I'm best known for.
Well, and the famous scene where he meets you in the hotel and you start to speak and he says, no, sorry, can't understand that at all.
That's just noise.
And you know, I see you saying somewhere that this whole business of what accent you had came quite late in the day as you worked out how to play this part.
Well, no, when I originally went for it, I was going to make him from Yorkshire. I'm going to make him from Leeds. But then that morning, I've been doing a voice-over for a Geordie product, you know. So I just thought I might be funnier if he's a Geordie, you know.
Fantastic. You also won Celebrity Mastermind.
Yes.
So just tell us your subject.
The D-Day landings.
OK, brilliant. Now, you've got to mention the Octonauts here because, Beth, you absolutely love it, don't you?
Absolutely love it.
She absolutely loves it. So just tell us about Captain Barnacles, please, just so Beth will be hanging on every word.
OK. Captain Barnacles is a very brave polar bear, and he's the leader of the Octonauts, and their mission is to explore, rescue and protect. Barnacles out.
Oh, let's just get Beth's reaction. How was that? She absolutely loves it. All right, you're among fans here, but they will still be ruthless, Simon,
I know,
be
they're
warned.
vicious, I know.
Vicious. Film and TV is the subject, and would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
OK, your first question, good luck. Matt Berry plays the title role in which TV comedy series? Father Ted, Yes Minister, or Toast of London?
Well, Matt Berry sounds a little bit like Captain Barnacles. He has that voice, and I would say, of course, it's Toast of London.
That is the most amazing voice. Toast of London is correct. And we go over to you, Steve, for your first question. Which of these films was based on a true story? Chariots of Fire, 2001: A Space Odyssey, or Singing in the Rain?
I think that must be Chariots of Fire, Jeremy.
Chariots of Fire is correct. Simon, your question. Which actor announced his retirement in June 2017? Tom Hanks, Daniel Day-Lewis, or Harrison Ford?
Whoa, let's see. I'm going to go for Daniel Day-Lewis.
You're absolutely right. Daniel Day-Lewis is correct. Took a lot of people by surprise, I think. Steve, which TV comedy series is set in the town of Danebury? Detectorists, Motherland, or Catastrophe?
Absolutely no clue. Nothing to go on at all. Never heard it place. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Detectorists.
Eggheads, is he right?
I think so.
Oh, you're not sure?
Not sure. I
Got
think
a little bit of uncertainty. Simon, do you know this?
Yes, I do.
Go on.
It's the Detectorists.
Detectorists is right. Oh, I can tell you're a good quizzer, Simon. So your third question, just get this right and you put the pressure, put the arm lock on him. Which Oscar-winning actor plays the role of the gangster Luca Changretta in the 4th series of the TV drama series Peaky Blinders? Is it Jared Leto, Adrian Brody, or Mark Rylance?
I don't watch Peaky Blinders because of the accents. Let's think. It's got to be Jared Leto.
Steve, is he right?
I think it might be Adrian Brody.
It's Adrian Brody.
Oh!
Now, you've given the egghead a way in, which is dangerous at the best of times. Steve, you get this right, you're in the final round. Who plays the father of the character played by Mark Wahlberg in the 2017 film Daddy's Home 2? Mel Gibson, Clint Eastwood, or Gene Hackman?
Yeah, it's quite a funny film. It's Mel Gibson, Jeremy.
It's Mel Gibson, 3 out of 3. Simon, I can't believe that. You're clearly brilliant on the subject, and he's punished you for a tiny slip. You're out, you're not in the final, and Steve is, but it's early days. Rejoin your teams, we'll play on. Oh dear, Katie, we've lost Simon over here, and he's clearly a very good player.
We are gutted, to say the least. I thought that was an excellent round, though, so congratulations, Simon. We were in awe of what you knew. And we also thought you were very unlucky, because
Yeah.
your egghead competitor was very lucky with that answer.
OK, Artyfacts have lost a brain. They lost Simon from the final round. The Eggheads are all still sitting there, and they know if they win this one, they've beaten all the celebrity teams, and we've got to stop that happening.
Come on, guys.
So the next subject is food and drink. Now, who would like this?
Well, Toya, you did say you wanted to do this one.
I would love to do this because I eat all the time. I don't drink much. I won't be good on wine, but I think I might be relatively good on the rest.
Brilliant.
Well, we have faith in you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. It's very good of you.
So Toya against which egghead? Who looks worried?
Well, I don't think any of them look worried.
Very cool.
I think the guy in the middle looks really cute.
Well, yeah.
Even more now.
Is that enough of a reason to choose him?
Yep, he lures a lot of people. It's a bit like those sirens luring sailors onto the rocks. He does it with his shirts, but...
I'm suspecting I might have walked into a trap.
No, they're all good. You choose Barry. He's certainly very nice. So Toya from the Artyfacts versus Barry from the Eggheads. Please go to the question room now. I'm trying to work out where I even start with talking about your career, Toya, because you've done so many things. Books, singles, albums, of course, stage plays, feature films, TV, everything really. And now quizzing on the Eggheads. How about that?
I'm so pleased to be here. It's fantastic.
Now, you were also on Celebrity Mastermind, Toya, and your specialist subject was one of your heroes.
David Bowie.
Yeah, and actually you chose, I guess, his best period of 67 to 77, which would have really formed your music, I'm guessing.
I'm speechless. This man changed my life. He changed my perceptions, everything, because he was so prolific and so perfect and didn't put a foot wrong as an artist in that time. I don't think any other artist has achieved what he did in such short a time.
Yeah, I guess everything that followed, which you were involved in, punk, new wave and so on, was probably in some way related to what he did.
Not only was it related to what he did, I think he gave a lot of very young people the realization that we could go out in the world and speak our minds and believe in what we had to say as artists. Because I was a little girl from Birmingham, seriously unacademic, totally dyslexic. And he just woke something up in me and I thought, right, the world is my oyster. I'm going to go out and get it.
Without in any way lowering the tone, among the many things you've done, you've been a voice on Teletubbies.
Over the hills and far away, Teletubbies come out to play. The sun is setting in the sky, Teletubbies say goodbye. Those two lines changed my life. And the only time I have ever needed security abroad while filming for the BBC holiday programme was the first month Teletubbies came out. People realised that I introduced it. So I was working for BBC Holiday. We were filming in Mallorca. And parents were going to their children, she's the voice of Teletubbies. She's the voice of Teletubbies. And I was mobbed. And we had to have security so we could carry on filming.
Well, good luck in this round. We're so thrilled to have you here. And Toya, would you like to go first or second against Barry?
I would really like to go first. Thank you very much.
OK, your first question. What type of buns are traditionally eaten on Good Friday? Hot cross buns, Sally Lunn buns, or Chelsea buns?
Well said. Sally Lunn buns. I don't think I've ever heard of Sally Lunn buns. Chelsea buns I'm particularly fond of, and I'm now wheat-free, and Chelsea buns are something I really miss. But the one bun I miss more than anything in the world is the hot cross bun, and that's what I'm going for.
It is hot cross bun. Well done. Good stuff. Well done, Toya. Barry, your question. In the UK, the type of dumplings which are often included in meat stews are generally made from which ingredient? Mung beans, suet, or polenta?
I think mung beans and polenta would give a very strange-looking stew. They're suet dumplings.
They are suet, one each. Toya, back to you. We just want him to just do something wrong, don't we? We want just a little, the saucepan to fall off the cooker. Toya, here's your question. Which of these Asian sauces is flavoured with peanut? Satay, soy, or sacha?
I love Asian. Soy is the soya bean. Sacha is flavoured by Sasha. No idea, I've never heard of Sasha. But it's one of my favourite dishes of all time is satay peanut sauce with chicken. Yummy.
Oh, my mouth is watering. Satay is quite right. Well done. Yeah, on the little sticks and all that. Any eggheads like that? Oh, I knew you would. Barry, your second. Hollandaise sauce is typically used to make which of these dishes? Eggs Mornay, eggs Benedict, or scrambled eggs?
I think eggs Mornay is made with cheese, and you don't use a sauce for scrambled eggs, but Hollandaise sauce is famously used in eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict is correct. This is the key thing, is to just try and get all three right here, Toya. Put some pressure on Barry, get him to sudden death, maybe knock him out before that. Here's your third question. The alcoholic drink, Airag, made from the fermented milk of horses, is a speciality of which part of the world? So it's Airag, A-I-R-A-G. Mexico, Macedonia, or Mongolia?
I'm not a big drinker, but I know tequila and Mexico go together. Macedonia, I know nothing about. It's a place I would really like to visit. But I am 99% certain we are talking about Mongolia. And I think the only reason I feel slightly confident about this is they live with their horses and they love their horses. So I'm going to go with Mongolia.
Well, if you're right, that's great quizzing. Barry, is she right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well done. 3 out of 3. Mongolia's correct. This is good. Good for our challenges. So, Barry, if you get this wrong, you've been knocked out. What is the name of the traditional West Country pie that has fish heads sticking out of the crust? Stargazy pie, Gala pie, or hominy pie?
Well, the fish heads that are sticking out of the crust are looking up into the sky and they see the stars, so it's stargazy pie.
It is indeed stargazy pie. All right, we go to sudden death. Toya, gets a little bit harder because I don't give you alternative options. You can feel the tension here. The jackfruit, often said to be the largest tree-borne fruit in the world, is native to which continent?
I've eaten jackfruit. I was in the jungle, Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, 2003, and they gave us this enormous jackfruit. Now, the thing is, I was in Australia, but the jackfruit could have come from the Philippines. So oh boy. Asia.
Asia's right. Brilliant. Barry, you're out if you get this wrong. Which Salisbury-born, Michelin star-winning chef authored the book Proper Pub Food?
Well, I don't know if he was born in Salisbury. I suppose he must be if this is in the question. But the only person I can think of who's strong on pub food would be Jamie Oliver. So that's my answer.
I'm afraid it's a head-in-hand moment on this side, Barry. Lisa, what's happening?
I'm never speaking to Barry again. It's the wonderful Tom Kerridge.
Tom Kerridge is the answer. You've been knocked out by Toya. Mind you, being knocked out by Toya Wilcox is not a bad... it's a badge of honour there. Toya, well done.
Thank you.
Brilliant. You're in the final round. Barry's not. Please come back. We'll play round 3. As it stands, the Artyfacts have lost one brain from the final round, but Toya won through in her round. And Barry was knocked out by Toya. How about that? The next subject is arts and books. Now this, I want to see. Who is going to take arts and books?
As captain, I'm going to nominate you, Nick. As you did spend several years making a programme about books, so, you know.
I thought you might. I shall do arts and books.
Very good. Nick, against which egghead? And you've got Beth, Pat, and Lisa.
I think I will go for Pat.
Oh, OK. Good stuff. Nick from the Artyfacts trying to take down Pat from the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. So, Nick, you joined the BBC a long time ago.
Absolutely, yes. 30 years nearly man and boy. Much of that time, arts and media correspondent, or as I like to call it, the BBC's bad news about the BBC correspondent.
Well, I was going to say, that is the trouble, isn't it? You're reporting on the organisation you work for, which means there's no easy day. You were the presenter on Meet the Author on the BBC News Channel, and that went on for quite a while, did it not?
6 years, yes. An enormous array. I'm very, very privileged, actually, to do that. An enormous array of authors I interviewed. You're going to ask me perhaps why I stopped, and the reason was I discovered I was making a fundamental mistake. Unlike everybody else who interviews authors on TV and radio, I was actually reading the books, and it was taking so much time that it just became too much.
Well, I'm assuming you therefore had to read at least one book a week, did you?
Yes.
Or more?
At least one book, sometimes more, if you wanted to get a feel for what an author had done, other books they'd read and so on. And it wasn't leaving a lot of time for the day job.
So one of your heroes, I gather, is Hilary Mantel. And if you're trying to read 2 of her books in 6 days, you're not going to have much time for any work.
Luckily, by the time I got to interview her about Bring Up the Bodies, I had already read the first one in the trilogy.
All right, well, I'm thinking that's going to serve you well in this round, Nick. Good luck against Pat. Not in any way trying to put you off here, but Pat has not lost on arts and books. Pat, for how long?
I think you said 5 years.
5 years.
That sounds all right.
Good luck. Nick, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, please.
Here we go. The Boy Who Would Not Grow Up is the subtitle to which famous work of children's literature? Peter Pan, The Wind in the Willows, or Stig of the Dump?
Well, The Wind in the Willows is not about boys, so we can rule that one out. It has to be either Stig of the Dump or Peter Pan, and of course, Peter Pan was indeed the boy who never grew up.
Very good. Peter Pan. Pat, your question. Which of these novels was written first? The Time Traveller's Wife, Time's Arrow, or The Time Machine?
I think the most recent is The Time Traveller's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. Time's Arrow was Martin Amis, which would be 90s perhaps, 80s, 90s. And The Time Machine is H.G. Wells, which would be around the start of the 20th century somewhere, perhaps late 19th century. So the earliest one is The Time Machine.
The Time Machine is quite right. OK, Nick, your question. You see what you're up against. Alice Walker's book, The Colour Purple, is set in which part of the USA? Hawaii, New England, or the Deep South?
Well, it's famous for its portrayal of or addressing racism, and so New England is not renowned for that, nor Hawaii. I think it must be set in the Deep South.
The Deep South is quite right. Well done. 2 out of 2. Pat, which of these is a famous work by Van Gogh? The Death of Marat, Wheatfield with Crows, Rain, Steam and Speed.
I think The Death of Marat is by David, and Rain, Steam and Speed is one of Turner's major works. The Van Gogh picture in that triplet is Wheatfield with Crows.
It is indeed Wheatfield with Crows. OK, Nick, your third question. Just keep the pressure on here. Which 20th century art movement is characterized by an aesthetic that glorified the mechanical world, war and dynamic speed? Futurism, Surrealism or pop art?
Pop art is renowned for its use of colour and popular imagery, so that doesn't fit. Surrealism actually could contain almost anything, but I think what we're talking about here is futurism.
And futurism is right. Well done. Pat, if you get this wrong, you will have been knocked out on arts and books for the first time in 5 years. Who first wrote these lines? Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Geoffrey Chaucer, William Shakespeare, or Edmund Spenser?
Oh, I don't know this, so I have a bit of a problem. Chaucer and Spenser precede Shakespeare. But of course, they're almost Middle English, could be effectively translated into modern English. Shakespeare's writing at times just sound like modern English. I have a little bit of a problem here. It doesn't sound very Chaucer, but it could be Spenser. Shakespeare's the front runner at the moment. A bit speculative. I think I'll have to go for William Shakespeare.
Nick, do you know this?
It's one of Shakespeare's sonnets.
Yes, it is. Do you know which one, Nick?
No.
Eggheads?
Might be 116. But
Yes, it is 116, Lisa.
Wow.
Very, very good. Well, Pat was shaking, rattling and rolling there, but he got it. William Shakespeare, and you're level after 3. Nick, we go to sudden death. Arts and books. Your question, I don't give you options. Which man co-wrote with Tony Schwartz The Art of the Deal, a best-selling business book in the 1980s?
It was Donald Trump.
It was Donald Trump. You're right. Pat, to stay in. Christopher Robin went down with Alice is the second line of each verse in which A.A. Milne poem?
In which poem? My first thought is When We Were Young, but it's not, I don't have any confidence. It's the second line, so why didn't we read out the first line? Is that the heart of the matter? No, I'm not really placing this. I'm in trouble here. I think I'll have to go with When We Were Young.
Do you know the first line? Eggheads?
They're changing the guard at Buckingham Palace.
Changing the guard at Buckingham Palace. Christopher Robin went down with Alice. The title, had you got that, then the title is Buckingham Palace. You're out, Pat. Knocked out. Well done, Nick. Wow. First time he's lost on that in 5 years. And I think you've still got some petrol in the tank, Nick, I can tell. Come back to us. We'll play the next round. Oh, wow, these challengers are playing well today. Artyfacts have lost only 1 brain from the final round. The Eggheads have lost 2, including Pat. And our last subject before the final is music. So it's going to be Katie or Yolanda.
Well, we could arm wrestle for this, but I think...
What do you think?
I think you should go with this,
You
Yolanda.
think so?
Yeah, I do.
All right, Yolanda.
Gosh,
Good stuff.
all right,
And against which Egghead? Who do you want to take on? So it's Beth on the left or Lisa on the right?
Could you all sing something, please?
Audition for the part.
I don't want to break your ears.
I mean, yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Beth, please.
Right, Yolanda from the Artyfacts, taking on Beth on music. If Beth wins, it'll be level going into the final. Take your positions, please. Well, Yolanda, as well as being a very booky team, it's a very musical team you're on, because there's Toya and yourself.
It is. I can just imagine her sitting there shouting the answer out and me not hearing a thing. So
Well, you're known as a multi-award-winning saxophonist. And the list of people you've played with is almost too long to read out. It's quite amazing. And I'm guessing that with saxophone, particularly jazz-based, you then reach quite a way back to other types of music, like classical and so on.
Absolutely. I think for me, I love to mix genres. I'm self-taught as a saxophonist, so for me, it's just whatever the feeling is. And at the moment, my natural rhythm is a mix of jazz, reggae and soul. So I'm kind of veering the other way, but yeah, it does incorporate everything.
By the way, you mentioned racing cars at the very start, and I thought, oh, I didn't know about that.
If you asked me when I was 13 what I wanted to be when I grew up, a racing driver, I always wanted to be a Formula One driver, but there was never the right angle to get into it or find the right teams. I loved the go-karts, but that's about as far as I went. But now I've been able to find a team, been able to play at the party of Ron Dennis and being brought on stage as the Lewis Hamilton of the jazz world. And so I'm reliving my dream right now.
Oh, perfect. Good luck in this round, Yolanda. Music against Beth. Do you want to go first or second?
First, please. Yes, please.
Here we go. Which of these songs is from The Sound of Music? Who Will Buy, My Favourite Things, or The Rain in Spain?
Who will buy? That's not The Sound of Music, is it? Oh. So you are my favourite thing. Oh, goodness. You know what? I know this, and it's... I think I'm going to go with My Favourite Things.
Teammates, is she right? We were worried there. You're right, don't worry. They were about to fall off their chairs.
Every single musical has just melted into one big medley.
You've got all of the songs in your head. That's the problem. That was great. I was just watching your teammates' faces. OK, well done. My favourite things. OK, Beth, your question. Which of these singers was born first? Elvis Presley, David Bowie, or Paul McCartney?
Oh, that's surely Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley is correct. Do you know the year, Beth?
It must be early 30s?
Barry?
1935.
1935. Your question, Yolanda. Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel uninspired. Are the opening lyrics to which song written by Jerry Wexler, Jerry Goffin and Carole King? You make me feel like a natural woman. I feel the earth move. Or Up on the Roof.
All right, it's time to sing again. Yep. You make me feel... That's it. A natural woman. You make me feel like a natural woman.
I love the way your answer is. You make me feel like a natural woman. That's correct. Sing every answer. We can't get enough of it. Well done. And get the saxophone out if you have to.
I need a sax. Has anyone got one?
Yeah, you do. You need a sax. OK, Beth, your question to catch up. The Architect is the title of a 2017 album by which singer? Imelda May, Paloma Faith, or Jessie Ware?
Oh, I'm going to thank Ken Bruce for this one, because I'm sure he had it as his record of the week. And it's Paloma Faith.
Paloma Faith is quite right. Well done. To each. Yolanda.
Oh.
Here we go.
OK.
Which British composer's mysterious death has been attributed to various things, including chocolate poisoning, tuberculosis, or even a chill court when he was locked out of his home by his angry wife? Is this Henry Purcell, Edward Elgar, or Frederick Delius?
Oh, team. I'm trying to tap in. I know somebody on the team knows this. I can just see their faces. Well, I can't really, but I can just imagine them. It's a guess, I'm afraid. I don't know this press story. British, but that means nothing. I'm going to go for Henry Purcell.
Let's see. Katie Durham, do you know this?
Well, I'm pretty confident in Yolanda.
Yes, you're right, Yolanda. Well done. It is Henry Purcell.
Oh, thank you very much.
Who's got quite a bit to do with the proms, right?
Well, his music
Purcell?
is incredibly popular, yeah. It's early music, played frequently at the proms, yeah.
Right, Beth, your question. Get this wrong, you're out. I Got Life, which features the lines, I got my hair, I got my head, I got my brains, I got my ears, I got my eyes, I got my nose, I got my mouth, is a song from which musical? Hair, Godspell, or Jesus Christ Superstar?
I got my hair. Wow. Famously sung by Nina Simone. Certainly not Jesus Christ Superstar. My hair is all about being free and stuff, so would it fit with that? I know nothing about Godspell, but I don't know whether I can make a compelling argument for that one. So I'm going to go with hair.
Hair is your answer. If you're right, you're still in. Eggheads, is she right?
Yes.
Hair is right. 3-3. Okay, so we go to sudden death, Yolanda. Gets a bit harder. I don't give you alternatives. Here we go. John Deacon was the bass player for which hugely successful rock group?
I don't have it. I don't have it. So let's go with. I can't even think of a rock group. U2.
If I told you 2 of the other members were Brian May and Freddie Mercury.
Oh, man. Queen.
Queen is the answer. It gives Beth a way to take the round. Beth, your question. Which 73-year-old female opera singer announced her retirement from public performance in September 2017? For the round.
Yeah, she's got to be around that age. I don't think Leslie Garrett is that old yet, but I'll go with Dame Kiri Takanawa.
Kiri Takanawa is the right answer, Beth. Oh, Yolanda, so sorry.
That's all right. I had them in my mind.
I'm sure. I actually thought you were about to say it. Even searching anonymously for a big band, you could almost have got there.
Absolutely.
But Beth is in the final round, which levels it up, and we're going to play it now for £15,000. So this is what we have been playing towards. It's time for our final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Yolanda and Simon from the Artyfacts and Pat and Barry from the Eggheads, would you please leave the studio? OK, Katie, Nick and Toya, we're about to play the final. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
As we will ever be.
Tactics good here, Katie. You've got out 2 very big guns, and let's see what happens. And, of course, your background is very broad. I'm just thinking, have you ever done anything that's brought together your classical work, your proms work, with your love of dance?
Well, do you know what? They did have me dancing to a piece by Puccini in the semi-final. I don't know if you remember that. So they did actually give me a piece of classical music to do a waltz to, which Anton was very pleased about as well. So there was that. And I've since our joint Strictly experience, after which, of course, we all consider ourselves in our hearts dancers.
Professional dancers,
Absolutely.
Yes.
You certainly are.
Some with more justification than others.
No, since then, I actually have started making a programme for Radio 3 about dance music.
Oh, brilliant.
And when I say dance music, I don't mean that kind of dance music. But, you know, so that's actually been something that I've got really into, which has been fantastic.
And I don't want to make you blush, but you did win the Christmas Strictly. I don't know if you saw that, Eggs, but she was very, very good.
Nobody could have been more surprised than me, as you well know. Honestly, between the 2 of us, I think we had more glitter on us than any Christmas tree I've ever seen. I don't know about you, I was still getting it out of the grouting in my shower about 3 days later.
I'm sorry we can't provide glitter here. I feel we should, kids, you know?
Glitter bomb if they win.
Anyway, the glitter is in the form of correct answers. As you know, here you are. You're playing to win. Artyfacts, £15,000 for charity. Beth, Steve and Lisa, the Eggheads, have been bashed around today, but you are playing for something that money can't buy, your reputations. For the final, I'm going to ask each team 5 questions in turn. This time they're all general knowledge. You can confer. So, challengers, the question is, can your 3 brains finish these 3 off? Last celeb team, so just end it with a win. Would you like to go first or second?
We'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
Here we go. Which historical figure was known as the Maid of Orleans? Marie Antoinette, Eleanor of Aquitaine, or Joan of Arc?
We know it's Joan of Arc. Yeah, but it's definitely not Marie Antoinette. And we don't think it's Eleanor of Aquitaine, it is Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc is quite right. Hey, kids, what is the second line of the historical rhyme that begins, "Remember, remember the 5th of November"? Fawkes and Catesby were shot, Westminster is growing too hot, or gunpowder, treason and plot?
Gunpowder, treason and plot.
Well, they didn't set Westminster on fire, and Fawkes and Catesby met a considerably nastier end than that. So you can only really go one way, can't you? That's gunpowder, treason and plot, Jeremy.
Gunpowder, treason and plot is correct. Back to the Artyfacts. One man's struggle to take it easy was a tagline For which film of the 1980s? Uncle Buck, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or Planes, Trains and Automobiles?
I mean, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a classic, and I love it, but I don't think that tagline works for it. I don't remember that being in the publicity at all. I don't think it is Ferris Bueller at all.
Struggles to take it easy. That's really...
I mean, I haven't seen Uncle Buck, I've got to be honest.
No, I've never heard of it.
But you feel it isn't Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I just don't think he was trying to take it easy.
Planes, Trains and Automobiles is about trying to get somewhere, which is not about taking it easy, is it?
Does anyone know what Uncle Buck is about?
All I'm thinking, and I haven't seen the film, but I feel like I've seen the poster, and I can't remember the name of the actor, but he's a big chap, funny face, big smile, looks like the kind of guy who'd be taking it easy, and this is not exactly a systematic way of working this out, but...
Should we go with that?
Let's go with that.
This is my moment to be... Sorry, I'm going to go with Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck. I think the actor you're describing is John Candy. Oh, what's going on back behind you? What's happening there, Simon, Yolanda?
We think
it's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't think that tagline matched. I'm sorry.
Ferris
really
Bueller's
sorry.
Day Off. OK, Eggheads, your question. In the books by Beatrix Potter, what type of creature is Old Brown? Owl, badger, squirrel?
He's an owl.
Owl sounds good. Yeah.
He's definitely an owl. Old Brown is an owl.
Owl is right. So, they're ahead, 2-1. Your question. The painting, Salvator Mundi, which sold for a record $450 million at auction in November 2017, is a work by which artist? Leonardo da Vinci, Vincent Van Gogh, or Pablo Picasso?
Saviour of the world.
Wow.
But the record...
Leonardo da Vinci was working, I believe, in Rome with Catholicism, always commissioned to paint religious themes.
The title fits. It's not Picasso, but the person whose stuff always makes record prices is Vincent Van Gogh. But he doesn't. But he doesn't
Generally
paint.
do religion.
He doesn't do religion. But I'm surprised that Leonardo went for. Was this the one they newly identified? I think it's Leonardo.
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci, are you happy with that,
Yeah,
Toya?
very.
I'm really not going to overrule anybody ever again, ever. So, but the team has decided Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci is correct.
Well done, team.
Well done. Back on track. Here we go. 2-2. It's level. Eggheads, when looking at Mount Rushmore from the front, which of the presidents is furthest to the left? Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, or George Washington?
Hang on, let me think.
Wrong. Definitely
Roosevelt's in the middle with the glasses. I think I would go Washington.
Ditto.
Okay.
Well, that's no.
No, but no, seriously.
recommendation at all.
Well, no, seriously. If that's the best thing we've got to work on is gut instinct, then that's what we'll work on.
Right.
Yeah.
You happy with me to go with that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's do that then. We don't know, Jeremy, but we are going to hazard a guess at George Washington.
Well, on the right is Abraham Lincoln, then it's Roosevelt, then it's Jefferson, and then it is George Washington on the left.
Hurrah.
Well done, Eggheads. So, Eggheads are ahead. Challenges. Which of these words is derived from the Greek for off-center? Eccentric, quirky, capricious.
Instinctively, I want to say eccentric.
I do
But
too.
isn't eccentric Latin? And quirky is.
You think quirky is a red herring, do you think?
Quirky is a red herring.
Capricious sounds Italian.
It does.
Capriccioso.
So where did Latin originate? Was it Italy?
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean
But eccentric
that doesn't
doesn't.
mean. But capricious could derive from the Greek for off-center. That doesn't
How's
rule
your
that
Greek?
out.
Do you know any Greek to
I know omega and alpha, and that's about it, yeah.
But eccentric sounds to me like it comes from Latin rather than from Greek.
Can you remember what centre in Latin is? Middle?
I mean,
Actually,
it might be
I
the
think
same word in both Latin and Greek,
You see, I don't think it...
which is not impossible,
Off-centrum?
but unlikely.
I don't know, capricious. Capricious just doesn't to me feel like off-centre.
You want to call it?
No, I don't. Not anymore. No, sorry, I'm moving on. I've put the Ferris Bueller moment behind me.
The only Greek I know is Greek food. Languages is not my strength, so I totally understand.
I may be
I think we
overthinking
might be
this.
overthinking it. Off-centre, eccentric. Eccentric sounds more
I mean,
Greek than...
off-center is eccentric. Yeah, different.
I think we're going to go with eccentric.
Let's just check at the back. Pat and Barry, you know this stuff.
It's eccentric.
Yeah, eccentric's right. Well done.
We were overthinking it.
You're right, we were.
Can you help us with the Greek
Thank you
eggheads
very
back
much.
there?
No, I'm afraid I can't on this one.
Okay, all right, so level, but the eggheads have got a question in hand. Eggheads, what is the literary technique of litotes? Is it deliberate exaggeration, deliberate understatement, or deliberate contradiction?
I'm out on this one.
It's understatement. Hyperbole is exaggeration. Contradiction, anti-symmetry, or I can't think. But understatement.
Litotes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you knew, because I always get those mixed up.
And I don't think I've ever known. Now I do.
Our arts correspondent, Mr. Cook, says it's deliberate understatement.
Deliberate understatement is the right answer.
Well done, Mr. Cook.
So they have 4. You must get this one right to keep the contest alive. Dostoevsky's novel Crime and Punishment is set in which city? Is it Moscow, Kiev, or St. Petersburg?
Okay. I've just had a musical in London with 13 of my songs in, and it's Crime and Punishment. And I think it's St. Petersburg.
I think it's St. Petersburg too.
We're going to go for St. Petersburg, Jeremy.
Very good. You're right, St. Petersburg. Excellent. Now, the 5th question for the eggheads. If you get this right, you'll have 5 correct ones in a row, and you will have won. If you get it wrong, we go back to them. So, £15,000. Let's see what you can do here. How old was Edmund Hillary when he reached the summit of Everest in 1953? 23, 33, or 43?
I think
Where's
he's
Kevin when you-
invariably older than you think.
He is dead now, isn't he?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm trying to think. He actually died, I think, longer after than you would think he died
Right.
as well. That's the other thing.
Because he climbed it in 53, that makes him born 1910, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he died in the 2000s.
So he'd have been quite an old
Bothering
chap
me.
then.
Yeah.
Well, obviously been even
remember
older if it had
that
been.
then.
If you think,
Yeah.
well, think of that then. If you think he died in 21st century, if he were 33,
He'd be in his 80s?
yeah,
Now that's bothering me because I think he was in his late 80s.
I think he was in his 80s when he died.
in his 80s.
I think he was late 80s though.
Late
I've
80s.
got 87 in my head, how old he was when he died.
So-
This is when you really need Kevin.
Yeah. So if that makes him born 1920, so died 2007, does that sound about right?
Oh, maybe. I don't think he was 23. I think that's far too young.
Right, okay. So question is, did he die, if he died in 21st century in his 80s or in his 90s?
I think he was in his 80s.
Yeah.
Lisa?
I think it was his 80s. I don't
Right.
know if he made it into his 90s.
I'll
I
go in
think he was
33 then.
pretty old. I'm tempted to say he was born early 20s, so
Right, 33 then.
so right.
It's a shock to know.
33?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shock to know.
Okay. Again, not sure. We'll go 33.
33 is your answer. If you've got it right, the contest is over. He died in 2008, aged 88. He was born in 1919. 33 is correct. We say congratulations, Eggheads. You have won. Well, commiserations. Did you know that one, Artyfacts? Yeah.
We didn't know it, but we guessed
We
it.
guessed
We
it.
would have got to the same.
Those Eggheads. I thought it was written in the stars you were going to lose this one. Every single celebrity team you've beaten. And this was one of the very best.
Oh,
Very
yes.
best.
Very, very best. Commiserations to Artyfacts. The Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them, and the winning streak has continued all the way through this run. So that means this team don't win the £15,000. We therefore send that money to children in need to add to this year's appeal.
Yes.
Good plan.
Yep, good.
Good stuff, Eggheads. You didn't get beaten over 15 shows there. Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. Till then, goodbye.
Our dedicated team of experts are waiting to restore pottery, furniture, and an army officer's chest that's quite literally been through the wars in the repair shop next on BBC Two.
Two bombs rocked the town centre of Warrington. People have said that Tim hasn't died in vain.
No more bombs can be planted in our name.
This has to be the start of something.
Mother's Day, Monday at 9 on BBC Two.
On the verge of their first World Cup, Wales qualify with a win. But an England victory will send the Lionesses to France. The only place to watch this winner-takes-all sold-out clash. Wales versus England, live tonight.